Anyways, who's going in to Visma Lease bike?
So we'll start with the youngsters. We'll start with first. So we've got Nicholas Behrens, who's obviously the under 23 world champion. He's been taken from the Lidl Trek future team. You've got Jürgen Nordhagen, who is very, very active in a lot of dot pro stage races. I specifically remember the Deutschland tour, he was really active. You got Timon Grat, also from the Visma Lease bike development. You got Matthew Brennan from Visma Lease bike development team as well. He's a huge talent, good sprinter, very versatile. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. And you've also got Menno Huizing, again, from the Visma Lease bike development team. So that's the, combined ages, averaging at, 20 or something for those lot. And then you got four riders coming in who are the more experienced. So you got Dan McClay coming in from Arkea B&B,
Wait,
slightly odd.
what?
Yeah, did you not know that Dan
I did
McClay?
not know this one.
Yeah, I know. So weird. Then you also have Axel Zingler from Cofidis, who had one of the weirdest announcement videos. Did you see that? Where they kind of animated his bunny hop when he bunny hopped Pedersen on stage 5 of the Tour this year. Really strange. Victor Campenaerts comes in from Lotto Destiny. I think that's basically like a Tratnik replacement, I feel. And then you got Simon Yates, who's been brought in to psychologically battle Adam Yates in such a strange arc. Like if you said to somebody outside of our sport, so the two best GC riders in the world right now, they're like luxury domestique are twins, but they're just on different teams. Like, what a strange story arc, eh?
What happens at the Christmas dinners?
They're just sat there in like a UAE jersey and a Visma Lease bike jersey, just saying, "My lead is better than yours." Apart from they're from Bury, so they sound different. So
I thought it was funny. At one point, you had Mikkel Bjerg, who's a Dane, riding for Tadej Pogačar, and you had Jan Tratnik, a Slovenian, riding for Jonas Vingegaard. But this is funnier.
this is even weirder, basically.
So do you think that they've replaced enough talent in with what that's leaving, considering, like you said, Jan Tratnik, the Van Dijk twins?
I think so. I think Campenaerts can replace Tratnik mostly. I don't think he can climb as well as him, but I think he can do a lot of the Cobble Classics stuff that Tratnik can do. I think that Simon Yates is a bigger name coming in than any of those names coming out. So I think that's a big plus for them. Zingler, I don't know what he's like as a domestique, but as a kind of guy to get you lots of top tens in French one day races, he's an absolute gold star for that. But I'm not sure if that's what Visma Lease bike are going for. So I find it a bit odd as to where he fits in. He's basically like Christophe Laporte, but not quite as good in any category. It's a bit strange. And then Dan McClay, I presume, is just now folding into a life as a domestique, is what and maybe as a lead out man for the Olav Koy, or as like a second last man for Olav Koy in the sprints, because I'm gonna presume that Christophe Laporte is still gonna be the actual lead out man. I don't really know. And then you got all of the youngsters who, yeah, it's hard to gauge their worth at the moment in comparison to the riders going out. But I think in terms of the ceiling they have of ability, I think they're all really good, and I think they could. This is showing Visma's, passion towards keeping their team strong in the future, and it's not just like a flash in the pan. Like this isn't like a team which is just going to be folding after 3 years. Like, they're here for the long run.
In terms of Simon Yates, he's quite an interesting rider. If anyone who's followed his career, when you look at it, coming through the ranks in Great Britain, taking stages in the Tour de l'Avenir, him and his brother running Riot one year, and then winning the Vuelta a España, obviously really was up there as one of the best riders. I never really understood why the hype wasn't there. Like a Miguel Angel Lopez, the hype was through the roof. Is it because Simon Yates is from Berry and not from Medellin or Cali or Bogota or something like that? I don't know. But in terms of, I think the market is also a bit bigger if you're from Colombia than from Barry. Like such an incredible career. Third at the Giro d'Italia, almost won it in 2018, had that big collapse that we all know, but he had like absolutely ran riot with the race in the first 2 weeks of it. And yeah, the welter win. And then in 2023, when we were all talking about his brother finishing third behind Tadej Pogačar and Jonas winning it, he of course managed to finish fourth coming back. So this guy has also won the white jersey as well. So it's like, it's crazy the accolades he actually has. And it's now he's going to have to put himself into this luxury domestique role. And if he does follow his brother Adam Yates in that kind of role where you do maybe pick up some victories. Like Adam Yates has done very well at UAE. He's won the Tour de Romandie, the Tour of Swiss. There's a lot of victories he's picked up. My point is, Adam Yates is a luxury domestique, but he has cleaned up a lot. He's won a lot since he's joined the team. So do you think Simon Yates is going to do a similar thing? And do you think Simon Yates is the key to cracking Tadej Pogačar at the Tour de France?
I think that he will do better at Visma Lease bike than Jake Lula, based upon the fact which is that these kind of super teams just seem to have it dialed in. The riders which go there just seem to perform better. They just get on a better whatever program that's going on. Like they're just better. I think that Simon Yates. Yeah, don't read into that how you will. I think Simon Yates, how you say, Adam Yates actually ended up doing better at UAE Team Emirates as a domestique than he did as a leader in the Ineos Grenadiers. So I'm going to presume that the same thing's going to follow suit here, where Simon Yates could end up being a better version of himself by being here, and he could actually get better results as a consequence than he has previously. Is he going to be able to take over as is he going to be able to be the new Sepp Kuss? Like, is he going to be making Sepp Kuss redundant almost in his role? I don't know. But you have to say, yeah, outside of Sepp Kuss, who do they have who's going to be supporting Jonas in the high mountains? And I think that's what they're bolstering here is that they realized that their depth of mountain support wasn't able to compete with UAE Team Emirates, because you look at their team and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I think this is them trying to make themselves better in terms of the depth of talent they have, so that they can compete with UAE Team Emirates rather than just being dictated to, in terms of how they want to race it, because they've got a much stronger team in the mountains. And I think, yeah, this is going to level the playing field a little bit. I don't think, will it be the key to beating Pogačar? It could be. It could be, a person who really kind of shifts things around a bit, because he can, give Jonas an extra person, or, just maybe even be that last man. So yeah, he could be the person who helps to break Pogačar. Would you reserve Simon Yates for the Tour?
Yeah, for sure. Or you send him as the lone leader to the Giro. But I
Yeah.
think if we are entertaining the thought of Jonas Vingegaard going here and winning, I would do exactly what UAE skeleton squad at the Giro and then full blast at the Tour.
Yeah, because by and large, you'd think that as long as Tade doesn't go here, and probably he'd be able to beat Remco and Roglic, I think, on level ground, level playing field, nobody injured or anything. Like you say, just send an absolute, B/T/C squad, and Jonas will just win because he's the best climber there is in the I don't know, in the race. Yeah, you could absolutely do that. Send Jonas with just the people I mentioned, maybe even throw in some youngsters in there as well. Maybe send in like Persson Hageners as well. I don't know what, I've mentioned him so much, I'm also just quite boisterous about how he could do in the future.